Hey, good morning everyone, and I'm getting back on trail here in Seminole Nation. Now in the last video, I referred to the place that I stayed with Reverend and Mrs. Payne as the Seminole Nation Baptist Church. However, the correct name is the New Testament Baptist Church. They're really cool people, just very open-minded, warm hearts, and a great place. Now if you come through Seminole Nation, come through on Sunday, there'll be a lot of stuff going on here at the church. If you come in on a Sunday, the bad thing is a lot of places are closed, such as across the street from over there. If you can see, that's actually the museum, which is supposed to be really cool, but it was closed. So yeah, but now, before the sunrise, I'm on the trail and heading north. Hike on! On the eastern part of downtown is the rodeo complex. It was here last night that the Reverend and his wife invited me to go to a gospel revival and barbecue. Lots of energy, great music. It was pretty fun. Thanks again for the invite. Hey cows, you ever see a thru hiker before? We stink worse than you. Here we are at mile 57.7. I've just come across the first water cache I've seen on the Florida Trail. There's a whole bunch of gallons, but about 3 of them are actually full. So thanks Ari and Alan. Thanks so much. From up here on the dike, you can actually see a few gators. Now this is some wildlife. Florida caterpillars. Well, it's not an anaconda, but it is wildlife, or actually it's wild dead since its head's missing. Well, that's interesting. It's in the middle of the road here is a bullet. Huh. Looks like we got ourselves a detour, possibly because of some smoke there in the distance. On the horizon we have more construction, but over there, that definitely looks like a fire. These little substations are great, because there's some shade for taking a break. Alright, now we got some real wildlife. I think this guy's trying to migrate from one pond to another. Pretty cool. Well, right here we've got some swamp, definite stagnant swamp, and right in front, that's our campsite for the night, station 5-6, bringing us to mile 66.1 for a 18.2 mile day. Alright, all set up here in the tent. I did follow the directions from other previous thru hikers who said to set up your tent before sunset, before the mosquitoes come out really, really strong. So yeah, I started way before sunrise this morning. So actually made like 9 miles before 9 a.m. So I guess it's not super before sunrise, but one mosquito got in here. Anyways, but yeah, so it's kind of like, you know, you have to make a decision. Do you want to hike early and then get to your destination early and be kind of sitting around? Or do you want to start later and hike during the day, during the heat of the day, and then get to your destination right before sunset? So it's, I don't know, for me, I would rather be sitting around in my tent in the sun rather than hiking in the sun. So I don't know, your call. There are so many mosquitoes outside this tent right now. It's crazy. Well, it looks like we have the sun just about to crest the horizon here. Been on the trail for, I don't know, a couple hours. It's, still mosquitoes in the morning, but not as bad as last night. When I got back on trail, I had water to the left and water to the right, and there was definitely a lot of noise coming from the water, especially a couple of big splashes that were obviously from gators. Hopefully they were jumping into the water to get away from me and not jumping out of the water to attack me, because, you know, I'm pretty delicious. At least that's what the gators think. So I decided to get off the road and go up here on the berm. It's actually a much better view. You can see the water, and there's no trucks that are trying to hit you on that dirt road. And of course, there's a slight breeze, so it's a bit cooler. The berm was nice, but I came down here for the shade. I'm making a little water. I'm gonna make a little breakfast. Uh-oh, what do we see? Yep, some poor thru hiker dropped their chapstick. Burt's Bees too, good stuff. This adolescent alligator's really warming himself up this morning. Got to enjoy that morning sun. And apparently this is popular with the bicyclists as well. two very friendly bikers. They came all the way from Tallahassee, and they even offered me half a liter of water, which I gladly accepted because the water cache that was supposed to be 2 miles north of my tent site last night, I couldn't find it. On the far shore over there is a gator skeleton. I guess he stayed out in the sun a little too long. Now approaching County Road 835, and right over there is some shade where I think I'm gonna take advantage of it for sure. It definitely feels good to get out of the sun for a bit. There's supposed to be a water cache here with a lot of water, but I don't see it, so there is a canal, so I'll have no choice. I will have to get it from there. It's probably slightly contaminated from the agricultural runoff, but it's better than nothing. But just to tease me, right here by County Road 835, a truck full of pallets of bottled water just went by. I was like, oh, I'm just hoping like 1 or 2 bottles would just fall off the truck, but no luck. Looks like I'm filtering. Well, it's not the clearest of water, but it's better than nothing. After scooping up some water, I did a little wound care on my heel and scooped up some of this goopy stuff that was coming out of my bandage. I'm not sure if it was the medicine or stuff my body doesn't want, like, you know, dead leukocytes and pus and stuff. But the wound is actually not doing too bad though. It doesn't look like it's infected, so. Hey, I want to send another shout out to Reverend Payne at the Big Cypress New Testament Baptist Church. That gospel revival and barbecue that I went to, at the end, they wouldn't let me leave unless I took a bag of sweets. So yeah, got some trail chocolates. These are amazing. And Doc, yes, I'm definitely eating more vegetables and folates and stuff like you said. So ignore that chocolate. But thanks, Reverend. And of course, just after getting all that contaminated water and actually cooking with it, which really made a weird result with boiled water. It had this weird sediment after you added heat to it. But yeah, so on the north side of County Road 835, down on the right, there's about 6.5 gallons left here on the 28th of February. If you look closely across the bank, there's a deer right there looking at me. Or maybe he's looking at you. We have arrived at the campsite for the night. It's one of only 2 legal campsites in this entire area. Based on lessons learned from last night's campsite, where the ground was also concrete hard, today, instead of breaking more tent stakes, I anchored the front windward side of the tent directly to the post, which marks the tent area. So that's not going anywhere, and I don't have to break any more gear. Wow, from this angle, it almost looks like I'm in a hammock, but I'm actually in a light hard gear solo awning tent. Bought it a few years ago. It's actually a really good tent. So, all right, so camp tonight at mile 82.3, 82.4, 16-mile day. But again, you're kind of restricted to where you can camp in this area, just for, you know, legalities and permits and so on. Lots of levees to walk on today, but no, it was good. Saw some wildlife again, so that was good. And tomorrow I can make it up to Okeechobee, Lake Okeechobee, and you have to decide if I'm going to go west or east. Am I going east side or west side? We'll find out. Hey, good morning. Well, if you can tell in the video, it's foggy. It's like really foggy and wet. Yeah, it's after 6 a.m., about 6:10 this morning already, and everything is just, you can't see much. The sun is really trying to penetrate through this fog, but it's not doing a good job. Hopefully within an hour, might be able to see. Okay, the trail currently has me on County Road 835. Because of the fog and the traffic on this road, visibility is pretty bad, but also wind is pretty low. So, yep, you guessed it, breakfast time. So, yeah, there's no sidewalk. So, but this morning's breakfast is gonna be rice pudding with lingonberry, courtesy of my Swedish brother from Ukraine. So, Victor, thanks much. It's not Swedish meatballs, but I got the lingonberries. So, all right. If you remember from my last video where I lost an entire liter of water in the swamp, it's because a branch had hit the side of my pack, tore a hole, well, bigger than the hole that was already there, and the bottle fell through. I sewed it up Frankenstein style, but it's starting to tear again, so I gotta keep an eye on that. Here by the bridge at mile 86.5, we've got a nice water cache. Courtesy of Ari and Alan, thank you very much. You guys are awesome. As of the 1st of March, there are 3 gallons remaining. If you can see that, that's a snake. He's alive. I'm just gonna go right by him. Here you go, buddy. Have a good day. This dead, bloated alligator is apparently the result of drinking too much of this contaminated water. Lake Okeechobee, just 3.1 miles to go. tell you, the people around here are really friendly. One of the local fleet workers here that works in the farm fields pulled up next to me here on the road and offered me some water. Normally I would accept water just because you never know, but just about a mile up there's a park that has water in it, so I let him keep his own water, but I appreciated it and thanked him for the offer. We're just about to enter the city of Lake Harbor, and there's a huge storage area of toilets. So many toilets, yet I can't access a single one of them. Welcome to the shade of John Stretch Park. I think I'm going to take a break here right after I go to that building and use those amazing toilets. Just outside the toilets is high quality H2O. John Stretch Park is a great place to relax under shade trees here in Lake Harbor on the southern tip of Lake Okeechobee. You can also dry out your feet and dry out your shoes because all that fog this morning and condensation and dew really got them wet, as well as the tent. Even it needs drying. Here we are at the decision point on the bridge going over the river on Lake Okeechobee. Do we go east and enjoy the beautiful sunsets, or do we go west and get closer to nature? Ooh, decisions. Where are we gonna go? Oh yeah, I'm going east. You can see that is Lake Okeechobee in the distance. Not this little inlet next to us, but in the far distance. Hey, Mr. Turtle, how's it going? Catch you on the flip side. We're about to reach mile 98.3, and that's gonna be our campsite right down there. There's a little pavilion, and that's where I'm gonna seek shelter for the evening. Alright, just because I got here at 4 o'clock in the afternoon doesn't mean I need to set up my tent right away. I'm just going to sit here on the grass, something I haven't done in a while, and just enjoy it. Well, you may think, hey, Hopper really does like nature, but I'm really a sucker for a nice sunset as well. So I had to go east, and it gets a little windy on the east, but I know there's pros and cons on either side, so yeah, so I'm going east side on this one. And of course, I have to make an announcement. I just got another notification of another donation to World Central Kitchen. We're now up to $475. And remember, I'm matching that dollar for dollar, so that's $950 that we've raised together so far. Awesome, guys. Thanks so much. I definitely appreciate all the support. Hey, good morning, everyone. It may be pre-dawn, but we have reached 100 miles on the Florida Trail. We've got ourselves an osprey nest right here. They need to work on it a little more hay, and it'll be all set for rearing babies. About 11 miles here into the eastern connector on Lake Okeechobee. We have a playground and a bathroom and a place to relax and maybe have some breakfast. All right, breakfast time. Muesli with milk chocolate. Add a little bit of whey protein and muck it on down. Walking through the playground on the way out, and what do I see? Starburst. Does that count as trail magic? I think so. Mile 14.5 on the eastern loop, we lose the hard pavement and go to packed gravel. Hopefully it'll make it easier on the feet. Now entering the town of Pahokee. This is the most amount of people I've seen since Miami. Here in Pahokee, you get your first chance of getting food since Miami. Well, I guess you could have got it in Seminole Nation, but when I was on trail it was way too early in the morning and nothing was open yet. But here at Carmelitas, they have great authentic Mexican food. Yeah. And right across the street from Carmelitas are a few stores where you can get some resupplies like food, and if you need it, some cooking fuel. Unfortunately, they don't really have denatured alcohol or heat if you're an alcohol stove person, so you have to settle for 91% isopropyl alcohol. Well, gotta say goodbye to Pahokee. It's a great little town, definitely a small country feel, and I met a thru hiker, the second thru hiker on trail, first one since mile 5. So Spice, it was great meeting you. Look forward to meeting your partner at home in the future. It's a small trail community. I'm sure our paths will cross again. You know you're in the South when you get boiled peanuts. So apparently here in the lake, there may be blue-green algae in these waters which contain toxins. In other words, you don't even want to try to filter it. All right, time to sign off for the evening. It was a 20.6 mile day, camping here on the levee at about mile 24.5 of the Blue Eastern Loop, and it was good. I ate so much food at Carmelita's, I don't even need dinner. Yeah, it was pretty good. I'm surprised I actually made that many miles this early in the through hike, but you know, when you wake up at the butt crack of dawn, or actually before the butt crack of dawn, I guess that would be like, I don't know, the taint of the butt crack of dawn, then yeah, you can actually get some good miles in, even though you may have taken a 3-hour break in town. So to get some good food and do some shopping and to charge your batteries, you know, for the power bank, so I can make these videos. So, all right, I'm gonna sign off and try to get some sleep and start early again tomorrow morning. Morning. 25 miles to Okeechobee, 132 miles to Orlando. We are now about to cross the somewhat precarious Port Mayaca Bridge. Up there on that berm is the official Florida Trail, up on that hot, exposed, sunny berm. However, right down here on this parallel trail, also known as Route 441, there are trees and it's shaded, and the water cache that was right over that bridge is empty, so thanks Spice for giving me the heads up about that. Well, because this is a very dry section here, there's no water, yeah, I'm gonna do the smart thing and actually take the shaded route. Whether it's a paved bicycle trail or a paved highway, both roads lead here to J&S Fish Camp, where you can get a cold drink and some good food. Now this is a serving of hiker-sized fries. Well, here at J&S, it's so nice, I actually decided to grab a cabin for the night. Okay, this is one heck of a cabin. I got a full kitchen, couch, I guess there's a TV and never really use them, full bathroom, bedroom 1, bedroom 2, not bad for $100 a night. Hey everyone, well I hope you've enjoyed this section of the trail. It was like night and day from the first section where it was just mud and muck and swamp. This one here has been flat, open, lots of exposure to sun, but the terrain was easier, different we'll call it, because obviously there was a lot of pavement and concrete, but it was different than mud, completely different terrain. So yeah, so far the Florida Trail has offered different types of, well, depends on what you're looking for. So I can't wait to continue northbound, and again, I gotta give a shout out, World Central Kitchen, that's our charity. Put the link down below if you'd like to support it, and again, I'm matching donations dollar for dollar. Thank you so much, and hey, thanks for following along, you guys are awesome, and we'll see you soon. Hike on.